needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
There's a shot.
That might be.
It could be. Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do, and all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
Oh, we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a
planning an event, from weddings to corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC brings over 15 years of experience to make your vision a reality. Based in Metro Atlanta and serving statewide, even internationally, we provide versatile event planning and authentic catering cuisines tailored to your needs. Whether it's pre-game meals for student athletes, fundraisers, weddings, corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC is your one-stop solution for exceptional service and unforgettable food. Our diverse culinary heritage means we cater to all cultural tastes, dietary needs, and food restrictions, making every meal uniquely yours. Let's make your next event unforgettable. Visit us on all social media at CMJ Events LLC or email us at cmjeventsllc@gmail.com. Also give us a call at 404-664-3882 so that we can start planning now.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, fam? It is, what's the day? The 21st of May, 2025. Welcome to Random Thoughts with DVP. Y'all know who I am. I'm the same guy. Ben. I'm that same guy. What's happening with y'all? Well, y'all know I was out of town last week, so I'm back. Hopefully my co-host and them gonna show up. They got some things we want to discuss, so we're gonna get at y'all with it. We're gonna get somebody showing up already. Let me get more on the stage. What's happening with you, player? What's happening with you?
What's going on, man? What's happening?
Hey, man, it's your world. I'm just here trying to make things happen with you.
I see you getting it done, doing the thing.
Hey, man, trying to hang out with the big boys. Oh, hey, did you invite me to the reading yet? I've been gone. I ain't checked none of my emails and that. I ain't missed that.
No, man, we only had had nobody really sign up for that yet, but it's just starting. We don't give up. You know how we do it, man. We just keep pushing.
I just want to make sure I ain't missing that, because sometimes I don't step that on my emails.
You missed the on time, man. Yeah, I ain't got to worry about that.
I ain't gonna go that far. I'm gonna get there eventually. That's who I am. Eventually, I'm gonna get there.
Gotta give you credit, man. You just snatched it from you.
Whole time, man. I'm getting there before it close. That's my goal in life.
No doubt.
All right, so here we are. I done missed a few weeks. So we might as well just jump into this. I had a monologue, but y'all know how Random Thoughts go. The hell with a monologue.
We do whatever.
I'm confused, and I'll be really trying to understand. I really do. I really do. And Mo is in my world. Mo is a really good brother. Me, I'm a good brother if I think you good people. If I don't think you good people, I ain't shit. So I ain't even delusional. I believe Mo is a good brother, even to people who ain't shit. He gonna, you know what I'm saying? He can still go through the motions and he ain't gonna hurt nobody's feelings. Me, I'm just ready to fight if I think you ain't shit. So, I was trying to mind my own business. I was trying. I promise y'all I was trying. People will come up to me and say, "Hey man, what you think about this?" And I usually say, what kind of conversation you really trying to have with me? Because I'm gonna tell you the same rules I tell women that I date. I'm gonna change the subject twice if I don't think you can handle the truth. The third time, the filter's gone because I've given you your warning.
No doubt.
That's the best I can do.
You did him a favor.
And if I know you got emotional tendencies, and don't get it twisted, we all have emotions. But if you want to argue emotionally about a factual subject, man, you're pissing in the wind. See, we can argue emotionally about who got the best football team, about who is the greatest basketball player, because those are feelings. But we can't argue about facts. And so I'm listening to this guy, and he said, well, what you think about? Hey, we don't want to go with what I think about, because now what I think about shit, sometimes it ain't based in fact, sometimes it is, but some things there's just no factual base for. It is a feeling. It is a total feeling. So he asked me what I thought about this whole Puffy thing, and I've been intentionally absent about this. Intentionally.
You're close to that. I know you're close to it.
Well, no, because ladies and gentlemen, in my world only, this is what a real man is. A real man worry about his business and the things he can't control. Shit that's out of my control, I don't care that much about, especially if it don't affect my circle. Neither one of them affect my circle. Truth be told, if I want to listen to a Puff Daddy song, I still can. I don't care what I listen to R. Kelly still. I just ain't buying shit. But so guy asked me, and I was like, I took a deep breath because I knew I felt what he wanted me to say. And I was like, this ain't gonna go the way you want it. He's like, no, man, you got standards and morals. I was like, I don't even know what show you was watching. I don't even know who you was talking to. But it's like if somebody tell you, yo, Dill's a good dude, don't trust them. Don't trust them. They setting you up to walk over to me and ask me something crazy so that I can unleash hell. Don't trust anybody who tells you I'm a good dude. I'm telling y'all now, don't trust them. If they say he all right if he like you, trust that person. But in general, no. It's not. So she asked me, and I was like, so the basic question is, how old was either one at the time all this shit started? Because I hear everybody wanting to blame her, but she knew what she was doing and yada, 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 yada. And, I tell y'all all the time, next month I'm going to be 60. If y'all believe I think the same way at 60 that I did at 19, you stupid. You're stupid. At 19, and I'm going to let Mo chime in on this. At 19, we thought we knew everything. The older we get, the more we realize we don't know shit. That's just how the system works. At 19, we think can't nothing take us down. At 19, we are clearly fucking delusional about life. So if I'm 19 and I got somebody who is 20 years my senior telling me something, it's something I think of, I'm not making decisions out of knowledge. I'm making decisions off of hope and false expectations. So even if she wanted that life, because anybody who get into this career wants to be a singer. Anybody. What's up, Amy Jones? What's happening with you? So for y'all to sit there and keep trying to blame it on her, because I'm sure ain't none of y'all ever been sold a pipe dream in life with way less of a reward system. Way less. Because see, remember now, I know about some of y'all relationships, some of the stupid shit you do for free. So you mean to tell me, I'm going to pick on Mo now because I know Mo ain't sensitive. Mo picked the wrong woman. Okay? Everybody telling Mo he picking the wrong woman. But this wrong woman come with a $10 million bank account. You think Mo, he can pick the right woman and they can struggle like hell. Which one y'all think he really gonna pick? Which one y'all think he really? What's up, G? Come on, the random thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Come to the right page, bro. Don't be on. So when people say, "Oh, she did this," and you want to blame her mama and her daddy. See, I'm a grown man. There is no way on God's green earth, and y'all know how I feel about that subject, that a 19-year-old, 20-year-old, 25-year-old woman can match wits with me. They've been through enough. So for you to want to make excuses and try to blame her for something, and I'm gonna keep it real for y'all. I'm gonna let most step in here. People who play sports, they damage their body. They risk long-term brain damage. Whose fault is that? But they'll do anything to play that sport. Do we blame them? Yeah, because they love the sport, but they know better. But who's influencing them? The money. So what does that make them guilty of? It makes them guilty of what most of us are guilty of. Most of us are greedy. And when we talk bad about people, it's because we've never had the opportunity for somebody to if somebody knocked on Mo door right now and say, Mo, if you do this, you can make up to $10 million at the end of the year. Mo gonna listen. He gonna listen. And if he's young, he listen intently. He ain't got no morals yet. He 19. He ain't got them yet. He thinking about a bigger picture, which is what a lot of y'all do. So for us to sit back and keep saying it's her fault, she sold her soul to do this. Any of y'all who ever dated a younger person, or if you was a younger person who was dating and you look back on it, you realize how much control you didn't have. You realize we tell ourselves things so that we don't appear to be victimized. But when I did the show about all these girls, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, dating 25-year-old dudes, when they grew up, they realized that they were prey. But in the moment, they didn't think that they were being preyed upon. They didn't know better. They didn't have the life skills to know that. All they saw was somebody showing interest in them, wanting to spend money on them, spoiling them. They didn't realize they was being groomed and preyed upon. So quit doing it to this 19-year. She was a 19-year-old girl when all this happened. I don't give a shit what the text say. I don't give a shit what no. She was being preyed upon and didn't have a clue. How many predators you think she done met in her life? And we talking an established predator, not somebody who was new to this. Go ahead, Mo. Give me some thoughts, sir.
No, I just with this whole thing, you gotta do some what they call introspection. That's look within. And when I do that, man, I remember when I was around that age, I was 18, 19, and how much, I'm just gonna say, data that I had in my head. You know what I mean? What was it that I could rationalize? How did I know things? Because I remember being manipulated by girls. You know what I mean? They would say things like, "You lucky you with me," or you know, just be happy that I'm talking to you and this and that. And I'm like, yo, I'm a young cat, man. So look, you don't know how to respond to that when you're a young dude, unless you got some home training or street training. I ain't have either. So I was just an innocent dude, you know, just trying to find my way. You know, I ain't had no dad in my life because I grew up without a dad. My dad wasn't part of my life. My mom wasn't part of my life. So I'm one of them dudes that just I had to be a sponge and taking hopefully the right information. I took it all in, and then I figured out which was good and which was bad. But you know, somebody like that, I'm a mark. You know what I mean? I'm a mark, man, because I don't know. You know, ain't nobody there telling me, look, this is right, this is wrong, do this, do that. And now you got this young girl and a grown man. The grown man know what's going on. You know, ain't no excuses for him. He know what he's supposed to do. Matter of fact, he know what he's supposed to do, what he's not supposed to do. He knows the things he can do to manipulate you. He knows what he got to say and all that. So the age difference itself, the case is closed for me. It's closed, man. That's it. It's over for me. I'm done.
Just that simple. And you know, because at that age, we all wanted to be rich. We all wanted to be rich. When I look at some of y'all now with these get rich quick things, that's y'all still what y'all want to do. And I'm telling you, you can't tell me that you won't sell your soul. The reason most of y'all are so judgmental is because y'all never been put in that situation. So if you ain't never been put in that situation, think about it. Now she's singing, and here come a dude who running the music world. What you think? What you think happening? What you think happening? All of a sudden he paying her attention. Go ahead, brother.
No, I just wanted to jump in and add to what you're saying because everybody thinking gold digging vibes, right? Everybody thinking that, right? But it could just be, yo, this is an opportunity for me. Let me look at it. Let me see what this is all about. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, you know, we always go right to, oh, she's a gold digger. She knew this was her opportunity, so she jumped on it, this and that, you know. But the fact that she was naive and young, that negates that for me. You know what I'm saying? If she wasn't naive and young, that would be a different story. But this here, we got a naive and young girl and a grown man, you know, so that's a whole different story.
And let's put it in its proper perspective. She didn't find him, he found her. You can't just walk up into Puffy's world. But people send tapes all the time. He get to pick and choose who he want to set up and how he want to set them up. Yeah, so we keep acting like she bumped into him and she went out looking for him. There ain't no way.
Yeah, like she was shopping in Walmart, and he saw her. Nah, it don't work like that.
You know, and so when I'm looking at these people trying to explain and understand, that ain't what he on trial for. Her purpose is to show his mentality. That's it. Oh, she got paid. And hey, man, you can feel how you want to feel. I done told y'all this before. This is the one place, and this is the one place where I truly do envy white people. When they know they can't get justice, they get paid. Ain't no need to crying about the fact he ain't gonna go to jail. She got paid, which is what she should have did. We keep crying and kumbaya and we praying for people. Damn that. If you screw me over and you can't go to jail, let me get a check. Let me get a check so I can make the future generation better. $20 million pay for a lot of therapy. A lot of therapy.
Yeah, you need a check. You need a check, man, because you can't get that kind of let's say psychological damage and then just think, you know, you're gonna have to pay for it. Somebody got to pay for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not going to just be you ain't just gonna wake up one day and all of a sudden have self-repair. You need to get some help. And so there's gonna be some money involved, it's gonna be cash involved.
It should be.
It gotta be.
We the only ones who keep praying for some. Oh, I'm gonna pray for him. Damn that. Praying don't pay rent. I guarantee it don't pay damn bill. It don't. So we get upset with her because she got with somebody, because I guarantee she didn't know how to do it herself. She got with somebody who told her how to do it. And guess what? She did it. because he was the oldest, he was the smartest.
I didn't actually get dropped into the.
Roy Money, come on, Roy. Come back, Roy. Come back, Roy.
Mo said, "Bring you back."
What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Hell, you showed up. So what? You just want to be like Charles from Charlie's Angels, just talk.
I'm listening for right now before I get into this thing.
Okay, I'm gonna take you off when you're ready. Raise your hand. So, but we don't give her credit for finding the resources. And Mo talk about this all the time. She found the resources to get some kind of redemption. What's up, poetically speaking? When we gonna get some poetry from you? You've been playing. What's up? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. I ain't getting no pink slip in the mail. I ain't getting no Dear John letter telling me you quit me. Mo ain't got one. So how you gonna just quit us like that, then come back and say hello, fellas, like it ain't been nothing? Listen, Linda, we're not gonna do that. Give us some poetry and then bring your ass back. That's what we're gonna do. So, but yeah, it was just agitating me. Listen to how people trying to shame her for what she don't know. At 19, most of us didn't know shit at 19 but our birthday, our mama name, and maybe 2 phone numbers. We didn't know nothing about nothing.
Stupid. Just plain stupid.
All right. Somebody spank me. Don't threaten her with a good time, girl. Don't do that. Don't threaten us with a good time.
And check this out, DVP. The one thing I need to point out, because I see this so much that I can't overlook it. And it was one of the things that just jumped into my mind. First thing that jumped into my mind, why didn't somebody, I'm gonna be raw about this, why didn't somebody go fuck up Puffy? And the reason why I think that's the case is because those types of predator dudes always target people who don't have a circle. And I bet you that girl didn't have no kind of circle to kind of to give her any guidance or to help her get out that situation or to help her navigate that situation, etc. And the predators, they know that. They smart. That's what they do. That's their game.
But if we're gonna blame somebody, blame his circle. There was the older people who let it go on. Those are the older people who knew what was going on. See, I can't blame a youngster for not knowing. I can't blame a youngster for falling into the trap. I can blame his circle for not saying something. I can blame them, the ones who say they saw it. Oh, well, I ain't want it to be me. No, it wasn't that you didn't want it to be you. You don't want to lose out on your paycheck. See, So it wasn't just the 19-year-old girl who was looking for money. Them 30-year-old dudes, his security, all them other people, they were looking for money too. But we don't want to talk about them because that means that we gotta do some self-reflection. Because some of us have been co-conspirators to some shit where we should have said something, but we did because, I don't want to break up the friendship, or I don't want to do this. So she grown, she can make up her own mind. That's some bullshit. That's just like, that fall under the same category of you perverts or you predators who look at a little young girl and tell me, oh yeah, she ready. What the fuck does that mean?
Ready for what?
Ready for what? cause she got some little bumps now. She ready? That's what you saying?
It's crazy.
That's what you saying. And see, some of y'all friends like that, you don't check them. You continue to hang out with them. You promote that behavior. Oh, they don't do it around me. If you know they do it and you just remove yourself, you're just as fucking guilty. You're guilty for hanging around them and you are enabling them because you ain't never telling them, yo, you wrong as hell for that. You wrong.
I had I'm gonna tell this story. I think I might have told it before, but I had this. It's kind of like a fair weather friend, just a dude that I would see when I go to run ball and do pickup, And he came over to me one day. He said, Mo, he said, man, I got these 2 girls, man, and they both love me, man, and one wants to, and they both want to marry me, and one has introduced me to her dad, and the other one is planning to introduce me to her dad. He said, man, I'm living a dream, this and that, blah, blah, but we was kind of cool before that. But once he told me that, man, I couldn't do it, man. I had to step off. I personally couldn't do nothing about that. I ain't know him well enough to say, look, man, you stupid. Don't be doing that. You know what I mean? That's something that is going to come back to haunt you. I didn't know him well enough to say that, but that's what he was doing. And I just can't condone that kind of thing. And if you're out here doing that, it's not going to be good for you at some point. Trust me on that.
And that's what we got to be better. And, it sucks that And the show gonna talk about these wannabe representatives. These wannabe representatives don't want to represent good. They just want to talk for us at the side of their mouth. Because see, I've been around these people and I had to call them out. And the first time I stayed around one too long because I called him out in private. Then I wanted to see if he was going to change his ways. So I had to call him out in public. Man, that's fucked up that you do. Yeah, whatever. I told you to stop because I don't trust your type. So I can't sit back and talk about other people not doing it when I know you're doing it. I know you're doing it. Man, I don't do nothing in front. But I listen to what you say. You're targeting young girls. You're targeting them. I ain't cool with that. I ain't cool with that. Now, And everything is relative, but once something is not negotiable in my world, and it won't ever be. And I tell you before, this is one of the things that my brother said, and I didn't care for some of the things he did, but he said he won't date a girl who can't buy liquor by herself. So that means she got to be at least 21. Okay. He won't mess with no teenager. Not now. Ain't now teenager that ready for nothing. Not now. You can't tell me a teenager is ready for a grown-ass man. Now, again, everything is relative. If you're a freshman in college, if you 20 and she 19, I'm gonna give you grace. If you 20, she 8, I'll give you grace. If you 20, she 17. That's it. That's it. Everything else to me,
Yeah. So, and I'm cut from a little different cloth because I can't give you no grace because the way I think about it is, it's not up to you to derail this girl's life. If she's on a path to greatness, if she's on a path to get an education, if she's on a path to do whatever, it's not right for you to come in and kind of you're a big distraction. And if there's a chance you might get this girl pregnant, now her whole hopes and dreams and the path she was on, it's all messed up now. And so I can't condone that at all. I can't stand by and watch that happen. The
only reason I give a little credit is because they could have been in school together. So it's hard to separate that senior and that sophomore because they've been in the same circles.
Yeah.
And that's why I give a little grace for that. That's why I say it's situational. Because like I say, if we've been in the same circles, then that age gap ain't the same. Now, if you came from outside, y'all ain't been together, so y'all don't have no type of history or nothing. So, but I'm tired of seeing people trying to defend him and blame her. He was the one who was supposed to be the responsible adult. Ain't no 19-year-old ever been called a responsible adult. Even though the military will let us join and go fight a war, guess what the military won't do for a 19-year-old soldier? They won't let them go to the club and drink. Now, ain't that some shit? They can send you off the war to kill, but you can't even drink on base.
Oh yeah, it's a huge hypocrisy when you come
because they know you're not an adult.
Yeah,
killing and drinking ain't the same. Ain't that some shit? Killing and drinking ain't the same.
That's crazy.
So at 19, for us to keep trying to hold her accountable for anything that she did with the gift that she could receive. Well, every time I see one of these posts about would you cut your mama's arm off, or would you do this for somebody for $5, $6, $7 million? All y'all saying, yeah. What's the difference? Except her $5, $6 million was real. Y'all just playing play shit. Ain't nobody finna give you $5 million. She had access to it. See, and to me, that's the difference. That's why when people say they won't do stuff, it's like stripping. I hear people, I would never strip. Well, if you had kids and your kids was hungry, see, it's cute to say, oh, I'm gonna just go out on the block and I'm gonna sell some dope. Well, listen, I've already admitted I had a sweaty past. But for you to go out and sell dope, you got to have some money to buy the dope. Ain't nobody front you no dope. So how you gonna sell dope without no money? But a girl can go to a strip club and get paid that same night. So if your kid's hungry, why are we looking down on her? She feeding her kids. She doing what she got to do. What's the difference? She making money the quickest, most legal way she can. But I'm gonna go sell dope. So whatever money we got, I'm finna invest it in this. Because you can't buy $50 dope and turn around and sell it. All you're doing is playing with your own money over and over again.
Yeah.
But we'll look down on a woman who do it to feed her family. But, oh, look at him. At least he's trying to sell some. He got to pay for that shit, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let these dudes fool you. Ain't nobody just front nobody no keys, no pounds, no half ounces on the string. You got to know some people to get that shit. Other than that, it's costing money. It costs money. And ain't no established drug dealer just finna get some dude all of a sudden a quick come up. It ain't happening. It ain't.
Yeah, you got to bring something to the table.
Some. So, but we judging people who need something. So she saw her way. Puffy reached out to her and said, "Oh man, I think you this. I think you this. You sign with me. I can make you $1 million. I can make you a star." What did Hollis just say? He was a star maker. So why would she not believe him? Why would y'all not see the trap, the setup, and you blame her for falling for it? How many of us have gotten jobs that end up to be dead-end jobs, but somebody told us something, we wasted time and didn't get nothing? Just stop with the super duper hypocrisy, because you don't want to have to talk bad about him. But remember what I said before. All it takes for us to be flip-flopping is for somebody to have a nice baseline, and we'll sell them out. We'll sell them out for a nice baseline. You know, Mo asked, why didn't somebody do something to him? Who? Look at who we are. Mo, we nonviolent. Who did something to Zimmerman? Nobody. We, all you brothers, and I'm talking to the men right now, all you brothers who claim to be warriors and all this other bullshit, when it's time to fight, y'all don't want to fight nobody but each other. And y'all only want to fight the poor of us. You don't want to fight nobody else. That's why y'all won't mess with Puffy, because he got money. Now, if Puffy would have been little boo-boo rock from the club around the corner, y'all would have been on his ass.
Oh, yeah.
But y'all don't want to fight. Y'all just love to say that y'all will fight, but you're not. You're not. I know you're scared, and it's okay. Just say you're scared. It's okay. It's okay. But stop trying to blame everybody but you. That's not how it works. And what is this? Okay, it's 6:30 now. So you got anything else on that, Mo?
On that one, no, man. That's a done deal, man. And you know, I would say justice will prevail, but I just don't know because of the justice system we've been dealing with. You never know which way things are gonna go.
And this is the reason. This is the reason why I'm gonna say justice will prevail. He committed a cardinal sin. He paid people and they crossed state lines. Once you cross state lines, it becomes a federal crime. And then you throw the money in there. Like I say, we get people getting caught up in the Cassie testimony. But money, crossing straight line, prostitution is already illegal. But it's a federal crime if you bring a prostitute from another state, ladies and gentlemen. It's a federal crime. It's kind of like robbing a bank. If you rob a bank and take the money across state line, the FBI coming anyway. But it's a whole separate crime and one of the charges is unlawful flight to avoid confinement. But when you do something over here, you do it over there. That's how. As soon as you cross, and it's a state line after you commit a crime, it becomes a federal crime.
Mm-hmm.
Any crime.
Right.
If you kidnap somebody in Atlanta and you take them to Alabama, it becomes a federal crime.
Yeah, if you leave the jurisdiction, it's over. That's it.
So I think that's why he may not get what he deserved, but he gonna get something. All right, let me see. Do I want to take a break or do I just want to go into the next one? You say you got to leave at 7, right?
Yeah, man. But
okay, so we're gonna just keep rolling in.
All right.
So this marriage lie, the marriage lie, and the marriage lie, and I hate seeing it. Mo is Mo, I'm me. Mason, you right there. You. What's my other guy's name? Emmett is Emmett. We all different people. What I hate is when somebody try to say what we all should do. Oh, a man know in 6 months whether he gonna marry you or not.
No, he don't. That's stupid.
You may know in 6 months. You don't speak for us. Who the hell elected you as a rep for us to speak for us? You don't know. I'm drinking healthy, man. I'm just drinking some tea. I got to take a physical in the morning, so I got to do the right thing. But every time I see this, And people co-sign, oh yeah, I know in 6 months. Well, that's you. But then if I look at your status, you're single. So you telling me you at 6 months you dump everybody? Or how does that work? And I ain't saying that it don't. For some people, 6 months may work. Hell, some people have gotten married after 2 dates. I ain't knocking them, but there is no number that works for everybody. Most of the people, some of the people, ain't no research been done to verify this. I have said personally on this show that until we have 2 good arguments where we should have broke up, but we chose to fight and stay together because now I know how you are under stress, I'm not even considering it. Now, in 6 months, I may know whether or not I love you, but that don't mean I know if I want to marry you. That is crazy. And for people to keep saying this, oh, well, what we doing? What we doing?
Well, look, DVP, you know, in addition to what you're saying, there's other variables. Like, I know right now, I could tell you right now, when my whole vision on women and life and marriage and all that is different when I was 23 than when I became 32.
Right.
So, because I didn't meet my wife till I was in my 30s. But, you know, when I was 23, I don't even think I really knew what I wanted. So it ain't no we. What's the pool of we? You know what I mean? Is it all 30? Is it all 23-year-olds? It's no we. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. You know, and we don't even like the same. We don't like the same things. You know, we wear different clothes. We like different foods. You know what I mean? There's really no we. There's a general consensus on certain things, but that's as far as you can take it. But that we is too inclusive.
Yeah, and it's like, but how do you get to speak for all men? I do a lot of things here, but I don't speak for all men. I don't know all men. I ain't hung out with them. Hell, even from the few who I do talk about, all of them got way wild opinions. Way wild opinions.
I already know where you go. He said way wild. No doubt, man. Yeah, no, I you know, and you know what? Here's the thing. I can tell you this right now. The reason why I know that this is a fact is because all women are not the same, and the reason why I know that is because I dated a lot of women in my lifetime, and not one of them had overlap with the last one. You know what I mean? Right. I had some that want to be homebodies, some that want to say that like to keep going and moving, some that like to you know, get the nails and hair done, some that just say, look, I'd like to be natural and just left alone. You know, so that by itself has variation in it. So you can't even speak for all men because all women are different. You know what
exactly. I mean, it's like the thing. A woman knows within 5 minutes whether or not she will have sex with you. And you know what? Most of us may know if we want to have sex with somebody, don't mean they're going to do it. Because I've seen women, yeah, she can get it. And once she started talking, I changed my mind.
Oh, yeah, facts.
So just because I think they can get it don't mean they're going to get it. So...
yeah, and I was going to say, and it's the other way too. You right. know, you see some and you're like, nah, I wouldn't mess with her. But then when you start seeing personality and the way they move and how their you know, sensibilities and sensuality, I mean, you're just like, oh wow, I didn't know that was there.
You know, and it's like we keep wanting to come up with these set of standards, which to me is always comical because everybody want to say, oh, you know, most people don't think like me. So if most people don't think like you, why you keep thinking they think like you about this? But where are you getting this from? Where are you getting this from? Mason, how long did it take you from 1, 2, and 3, if you can remember? How long did it take you to know that you was ready to get married? Mason, my guy. One day he gonna come on the show with me and chop it up. I'm still mad at him because he my age and he got hair. So you know I don't really like old people with hair. They like that. That's the enemy in my book. I don't like you if you got hair. This is but he a good dude. But whenever I see this, it just agitates me. Oh, man. Oh, so because you think this, you want to make it like I'm wasting her time. I'm only wasting her time if I tell her I'm going to get married in 6 months, and in 6 months I don't. So everything else is you trying to judge something. It's like I say this, you know, when I say, what does it mean when a man do this? I don't know. I know what it means when I do it. I can't tell you what his mindset is. I can't tell you what his experiences are. I have no clue. The best thing I can do is to tell you to ask him. You know, we give the example all the time. Me, Mo, and Mace can go out with the same woman. We can all take her. We can all take her to Olive Garden. And I guarantee we're going to all have 3 different experiences.
Yeah.
There may be some overlap, but we're going to all have different experiences, especially the third one, because the third, she's going to be tired of going to Olive Garden already, so she's going to already have a little attitude about Olive Garden for the third time.
Right.
Whoever taking it up for the third time, going to the feisty woman because she's thinking, damn, all these motherfuckers want to take me to Olive Garden. But she may enjoy you, but she just tired of Olive Garden. So we can't keep saying what people going to do because everybody responds differently in a situation. Everybody. I guarantee you, me and Mo, again, that's one of my favorite guys. Depending on which day you catch us on, you might get a hello, you might get a fuck you. There's no consistency because if we having a bad day and you come playing them crazy games, we're not trying to hear that. But if you catch us on a good day, there's nothing that you're going to say that's going to shake us out of a good mood. Does that sound about right, brother?
That sounds real right. You know, I mean, it's so, and that's the thing with the relationship because, you know, part of it, it's not just the woman. Part of it is us as individuals. You know what I mean? We experience stuff differently. You know, DVP might have a different pain tolerance than I have. You know, I mean, he might see things differently than I see them. You know, I might see somebody be like, "Oh, she fly," and DVP like, "Yeah, she all right. You know what I mean? And so the differences within each of us are gonna play a role in, you know, how we experience different things. You know,
right? And our mood plays a lot into it because when I can tell you this for most people, when most people are in a really good mood, there ain't shit you can do to take them out of it. There ain't when a brother's in a super good mood, when you run over him, he gonna oh shit, you almost got me, and he gonna hop his ass on cause he just in a good mood and ain't nothing gonna break that. But we can be in a half-ass mood, and all it takes is for a fly to bite us, and we ready to kill every fucking body. Ready to kill it because the mood changes how we would normally do things. What's up, Bo? Damn, man, I'm jealous. Mason been married 41 years. It took him 3 times, but he been married 41 years. Bo, my man, who, if y'all see the picture of me with the Star Trek stuff on, let me apologize to Bo right quick. Bo, you know I've been slacking on social media. I'm gonna start posting them as my pictures. Bo did a good job, made me the captain of the Enterprise, but hopefully Bo gonna, you know, Bo got some models. We're gonna do some more sexy shoots and some cowboy shoots. But when you coming on the show, brother? But yeah, like I say, I'm gonna post a picture soon. I just been slack. I ain't had the time, but I got them. I just ain't. I've been slack. I can take the blame when it's my fault. But Bo, how long did it take you to know? How long did y'all date before you knew that she was the one, or did she just put you in the headlock and make you do it? I mean, I know sometimes you know we got them forced marriages and shit. Sometimes she just say, "Hey, you finna marry me now," and that's it. And we just like, okay, okay.
No doubt.
I remember in the 8th grade. We had a bully at my school. Her name was Saint Marie. Saint Marie was 6 feet tall in the 8th grade. Wow. DVP was 5'4".
Oh man,
115 pounds.
You scared?
Saint Marie came up to me in math class. She put her hand on my shoulder, and she said, "You know what, Darren Bell?" I said, "What, Saint Marie?" She said, "You my boyfriend." I said, okay.
Same thing happened to me.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What the hell was I supposed to say?
You did the right thing.
You know what I'm saying?
You did the right thing.
Saint don't play no games. She beat up some football players. She was not finna beat up this little bit of smart nerd dude. She said, "I'm her boyfriend." And guess what? I was her boyfriend.
Yeah, I did the same thing happened to me. Same thing.
Man, I saved up my lunch money for like six weeks, and I tried to get Maurice to beat up and make her quit me. And it would have worked, except Maurice was scared of her too. I was like, wow. Oh. So Saint told me, she said, "Darren Bell," and I don't know why she started calling me by my whole name.
But that's a sign right there.
Yeah. She said, "As long as you be my boyfriend, you ain't never took me nowhere." Well, shit, I'm poor, you know? Yeah. She like, "I want to go to Six Flags before the end of the month." Luckily, I hadn't paid Maurice off. I was just trying to pay him. So that money I was saving, now I got to take her to Six Flags. She made me buy one of them little wooden thing that said "Sin and Darren." I ain't never forgot that. I said, I got bullied. I got bullied into a relationship in the 8th grade.
Hey, look, let me tell you how it happened for me, because that's the exact same way it happened to me. So I'm walking down the hallway. I'm walking down the hallway going to my locker, and this girl came up to me. She just put her arm around me, and she said, "I like you. You're my boyfriend now." I said, "Oh, okay, all right." That was it, man. It didn't take much more than that,
What else is there to say?
Yeah, is it, And so she said, "You going to your locker?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Okay, I'm coming with you," and that was it, man. After that, it was a done deal, man. That lasted, but the good thing is the girls at that age are kind of fair weather, so that only lasted for like 2 weeks. After that, she moved on, so that was it, man. It was all good though. That's just one of them things, man, that happens. Our experience.
All right, so look, Bo said it took him 2 years. And see, he said a lot of other things that I keep preaching to people. He said, it took us about 2 years, honestly. We were best friends, and she cooks a mean turkey meatloaf and hot water cornbread. All right, I'm coming over. But it take a minute to form a friendship. And how in the hell can you form these friendships in 6 months? I mean, yeah, this is my best friend, I'm gonna marry. Y'all ain't been.
Yeah.
I not got friends. Ain't nobody who will ever get the best friend title. Ain't nobody who got that title spent less than 2-3 years with us doing shit and getting in trouble and sticking together. Yeah. So if your spouse is supposed to be your best friend, how they get that shit in 6 months?
Yeah, in fact, I got rules. So like if somebody came to me and said, I'm just starting to date, like if it's a young boy or a young girl or something, say, look, I'm just starting to date. What are some of the parameters or rules you should look for? One thing that I'll tell you about in timing is if you can't get past 60 days, 30 days first. You got to get past 30 days. You can't get past 30 days, it's not going to last. And then if you get past 30 days, you got to get past the 60-day mark. Once you get past that, you might have a chance. You know what I mean? But that first 30 days, y'all ain't even really doing anything except enjoying each other. And then the next month, that's when you really start learning about each other. And then that third month, that's when things are usually gonna make or break. You know what I mean? And then the thing is, it might last for some time frame. Like, I think shortest ones was about 3 months, longest ones was about 6 months. But that's because I was stupid. If I was smarter back then, I would have seen the signs and I would have cut the rope and then took off and stopped wasting my time. But you got to live and learn, and that was part of my process. You know what I mean?
Right. But how do we live and learn? Experience. No age gives it to you. I was telling somebody, I hate when people say you old enough to know better. There's no such thing. Age don't give you nothing. Experience gives you something. I met a 50-year-old lady who had been married. She had been married 32 years. What experience does she have in dating? I met a 22-year-old girl who done dated 30, 40 people. Which one of them gonna get the best relationship advice? The young one. She got the experience. The other one just had birthdays. I hate when people say, "Oh, you old enough to know better." What are you basing that on? What are you basing it on?
And on top of what you're saying, DVP, here's a good one. A lot of people think that if somebody been through 2 and 3 divorces, that's not somebody you want to take advice from. That's totally wrong in my book. That's somebody you want to listen to, because there was a reason why things didn't work out over and over and over, and they have experience in that space. So you want to get, and as far as I'm concerned, I get all data. I don't care if I'm going to throw it away later anyway, but I just collect it all and I figure out which pieces of it I want to use. But I listen to those people too, because they have information and experience as well. I'm not going to just listen to the people where everything worked out hunky-dory. Right. I want to listen to the people who had challenges and had to deal with certain things, and either it worked out or it failed. But either way, I need that information so I can figure out what my parameters are going to be.
And if we're smart about it, you want to take the advice from somebody who failed, because they can tell you how they failed.
Exactly.
Failure is what teaches us. Winning don't teach us how to be better. Failure teaches us our weaknesses. I say, it's like when I ask people about the show. I like that you like the show. Tell me how I can make it better. Pat me on the back don't make me a better host. Tell me what you saw I was slipping. I don't care how small it is. Give me the critique. So and I say, oh man, why would I listen to them? They can't stay married. And I bet you they can tell you why. Now, if they saying it's always somebody else, then you ignore them. But if they can sit back and reflect and say what they did wrong, because we don't know what we're doing wrong until something bad happens. Because other than that, anybody who's been in a relationship, and I'm willing to bet this is 99% of the people, anybody who's been in a relationship with any time in it can say there was an argument that they never saw coming because somebody held something in and all of a sudden it hit them like that. When they was like, when you do this, I'm like, damn, I didn't know you ain't like that because they never told you. Yeah. So you thought everything was okay.
Yeah.
I've been in arguments where it's like, damn, I thought everything was good. You never asked. And so just because that you find out from the struggle and people keep forgetting that. Me talking to somebody, and I ain't knocking nobody, but if you've been married 40, 50 years to one woman, what can you tell me about relationships? You can tell me the things that you think were good, but even then, you know what I learned to do? I want to talk to both of y'all, because even then, one of the things I used to talk about to tell y'all to do every 6 months to a year is get together and talk to each other. Say, hey, babe, what is it that you like I do? What do you think I like that you do? I said, because I guarantee you over time, those things are going to change, but we'll stay stuck in the same mindset. We'll stay stuck where we started. What up, Robert? When my first wife, she made a 7-bean casserole. I don't even like beans, but that shit was the bomb. I liked it. Trina make a hell of a pasta. But before we got there and she never made the pasta, I couldn't have said pasta was my favorite meal. Pasta's not my favorite meal. But when we first got together, she was making things that I thought I liked. So if she asked me now, what's the favorite meal that she made? I would say that. She would say it now, but there was a point she didn't know that. So you got to keep doing, to me, you should at least do biannual check-ins, because the flour that your wife liked when y'all first got together, and she's matured in age, and she might not like the same flour, but we'll stay stuck in that mindset. You might not like the same things. A lot of times through age, allergies or whatever, we can't eat the same foods we used to eat. So those things change. So we got to stay up. We got to stay with them, because the only way you're going to know is to ask the question. And that's one of the things I would say, do it annually, just to make sure that you still know. And it's important to ask your partner, what do I do that you like? What do you think? Both ways. What is it that you think that I like? Because sometimes they think we like something and we just put up with it because it's them. But they gotta do it.
Yeah, let me put everybody up on some game too. If you don't know, one thing that will help you out a lot is ask your partner. When you meet them, you ask them, what did you like that the last person did? And what did you like? What didn't you like that the last person did? So now you got a baseline on some of the things you should do and some of the things you should not do. You might not know. When you first meet somebody, you ain't gonna know that. Look, I don't like cold feet touching me when I'm in the bed. Don't put your cold feet on me because I'm gonna get mad as hell. You don't know that. But if you ask questions and you kind of do it's almost like doing an interview. You gotta interview your partner so you can find out what they like, what they don't like. And then once you get that information, that's gonna help you a lot. It's gonna help you a ton, because otherwise you got to find you learn what I call it. I call it learning on the fly, and that right there, that's no fun. It's no fun
at all. But a lot of these things they're simple. If we really want to know, we just got to pay a little attention. It really ain't that hard. But like I said, I wanted to talk about these reps who want to be the spokesman for us without putting in the work. You don't know me. You don't know what it is I like. I had to argue with a guy. All men like this. All men like this in a woman. I said, dude, you realize all men don't even like women. So your statement is already patently false. We talk about this all the time. All men do not like women. So quit saying all men all men who like women with big butts. No, they don't. You like women with big butts. You. Yeah. Oh, I know for a fact. I got friends. That's all they like. How many friends you got again? Oh, you got 12. Let's see. The male population is somewhere around 15. So yeah, the majority. Not. Shut the fuck up. Just say that. Say the people I talk to, this is what they like, and let that be your area of expertise. See, there are some things, as long as me and Mo been knowing each other, there's some questions I can't answer about Mo. We ain't had them conversations, or he ain't gave an answer that I could run with. So why would I try to answer for him? I can answer 100% of the time for DVP. And if I'm being honest, hell, sometimes I don't know what the fuck I like. Sometimes I don't have a clue either.
Yeah, because it's going to change. Like you said, we, you know, over time we change. You know, there was a time, I don't have a dog, but there was a time where, man, I had this undying need to go get a dog. I don't want one now. I'm older, you know, it just maybe got something to do with that. I don't know, but I don't have the desire anymore. So the point is, you know, over time, our wants, our needs, our desires, they change, you know, like right now, I couldn't take a fine woman that got a loud mouth and makes me uncomfortable. I don't want nothing to do with that. Keep that. Give me the 4.5 that treat me great. I'll deal with her. Right. I'll take her. You know what I'm saying? I just ain't got time for it now. That's probably like all older men probably got something to do with that, but you know, that's just me.
And, you know, and like I said, that's just be cool with speaking for yourself and nobody else. It's 6:52. Where the hell are you at while you liking big butts and you cannot lie? Where the hell are you at? You know what I'm saying? Where the hell are you at?
I like big butts and I cannot lie. Yeah, you know, but you know that's you know, physical traits is one thing, but that's a short-term characteristic. That's not going to give you longevity. You know what I mean? It's just not going to do it. If you don't have an intimate connection with somebody's brain, you know, how they think, things they like, what they like to do, you probably on a crash course for a short-term relationship, you know.
Right. And if your short term is at 6 months, what do you say? Well, babe, I'm ready to marry you, I'm ready to go. Ain't too many people having that conversation because it's unrealistic. Any excuse is better than none. So when Mo got to leave, I'm gonna do a commercial break. We're gonna see if your sex are like white people or black people. Yeah, that was a racial thing. So you know, sue me. But yeah, hey, and Rob is on here. You know, he the other half of the show, Overflow to Everyday People. Check him out. He pretty good. But you really want to see Jenny? Don't pay Rob no attention because he kind of psychotic. But he can sing. I'm sorry, he can sing. He can sing. I'll give him that. And he got a pretty good show where he like to let the people come in and hear what the people got to say. He tried to get me on there just so he can agitate me. And he swear I'll never let him come on the show. But Mo is a witness. Rob, you want to come on the show? See, now he ain't gonna say nothing. But y'all hear me asking if he want to come on the show. Because this is what he'll do. He'll step in and say, oh, DVP will never let me come on his show. See, now, Rob had me on the show, and then Rob finna make me fight one of the guests. And it was funny because the guest said something out of pocket to Trina.
Oh, man.
Trina can defend her own. It's online. They don't need me to do nothing. But what was crazy to me is once he found out who Trina was, he wanted to apologize. No, dude, stand by your guns. If you're going to be disrespectful, be disrespectful. You can't say, oh, if I knew she was a woman, I wasn't going to be disrespectful. You were going to be disrespectful regardless. Own up to that. It's okay. You're wrong either way. But don't apologize because she's my woman. You was already wrong. And, you know, again, in my work, real men protect women at all costs. Without them, there is no future us. There is no future us. Understand nature. If men disappeared, I guarantee women would learn to become asexual and reproduce without us. That's what nature does. Nature ain't gonna let humans just die out without a thing. It may take a few as we're dying off. And you ever know? Just look at the numbers. When one sex is down for a few years, watch 2 decades from then. You'll see them rising back up because nature's gonna balance itself out. That's what nature does. So anyway, but yeah. So I'm waiting on Theo because he had a subject and I just read up on it. Like I said, because I don't be doing social media sometimes. I'm gonna do better, y'all. I promise. But sometimes, let me go on and put everybody on Front Street right now since I've been doing it all day. Sometimes I be wanting Mo and Theo to run the show and let me just sit back. That's why I be trying to get them to host the show when I'm out of town. I want to just sit back and listen. But they swear they can't do it unless I'm here. I don't know why I gotta be here. I don't be doing shit. Drinking my Arizona, whatever. So I want y'all to start flooding their inbox and tell them to host the show without me. But let the host just sit back and chill. I'm like Johnny. I'm like, what's his name? Johnny Carr. Sometimes I want to need a break. Jay Leno, y'all can do y'all thing.
Yeah, but Johnny Carson. No, you talk about Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon. See, Ed McMahon couldn't take Johnny Carson's place.
But Jay Leno could.
I know, but that's a whole different.
Y'all ain't band leaders. Y'all hosts.
I ain't DVP. DVP is the host extraordinaire.
But sometimes they don't want DVP. Sometimes they want something that's more normal. You know what I'm saying? They be like, dude, they want some normalcy in their life. They're not gonna get no. You know, I tried. And then I couldn't remember who I was. I was like, man, this is the crazy shit. This is how y'all. I don't know how y'all. That's why I respect you. I don't know how y'all do this. It's crazy. And now Theo trying, you know, he at the gym trying to get in shape, trying to get rid of that dad body for the summer. But I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing else.
DVP, I gotta sign off, man. Because I'm traveling. I gotta go. But
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Let me just say, I want to say some parting words. Just you know, let everybody know that you know, we like to come to this show. We like to come to DVP show because there's wisdom and knowledge, and we have a good time too, man. So look, spread the word, get people to come. You know, we need to, you know, it's 2025, man. It's halfway over, man. We're in the 5th month. We're trying to, you know, get more people to come. We need more interaction, y'all. We got to start talking, man. You know, as Black folks, you know, we got to start talking. You know, let's have some conversations. Let's solve some problems. Because you know what? Most of my problems didn't get solved until I started talking to people. You know, I met people that was wiser than me. I met people that was not wiser than me, and they had information. And it just, you know, it's one of them things. So you know, come to Random Thoughts, and you know, let's share, man. All right, DVP, I'm out, brother.
All right, man. Safe travels, brother.
Easy.
All right, so I'm left alone. And you know the little thing that says you should never leave me alone unsupervised because it's just not a good thing. It's just not a good thing. I'm left alone. So we're trying to wait on Theo so that I can have some balance. Unless Bo or Robert want to step up to the plate and come on the show with me. Or even poetically speaking, since you've been standing us up and threatening people with a good time. Anybody want to come and join me? Like I said, this is Random Thoughts. I got a couple of things I want to talk about. Like I said, I wanted to talk about the wannabe reps. I wanted to talk about the marriage lie and empathy, because it's hard to empathize. It's hard to empathize with people if you can't take into account what they're going through. You know, you can't use your wisdom to empathize with somebody else because you're still not understanding what they're going through. What's up, Anisha? I just saw you. What's happening? You can't empathize with them. And empathy means that, you know, you try to understand it from their point of view. You don't have to like it. You just have to understand it. See, because if you ain't never struggled, you don't understand what struggling does. You know, struggling takes away your ability to make the best decision all the time. Sometimes you got to make the quickest decision. Sometimes you got to make the rightest decision. Sometimes, as my dad say, sometimes you got to do what's going to make you feel better, not what's right. And you know the difference, but you also got to know why you're doing what you're doing. And sometimes you just got to accept that. But when you're empathizing with people, it's hard to empathize if you don't take the time to listen and find out why they made decision X, Y, or Z. In hindsight, it's always easier. It's always easier to tell somebody what they should have done. The stressors are gone as I'm making decisions. Not how you watch sports, especially football. It's always shoot through the ball over there. But ain't nobody running in your face. Ain't nobody flying by you. You don't hear all these crazy noises. So you can't empathize with the stress of it because you've never experienced it. You've never experienced it from their point of view. But most of it, we ain't never experienced it at all. Because I'm still willing to bet if most of y'all had a chance to earn $5 million in 1 year, there ain't many things that you would put off limits. You'll say, oh, I wouldn't do this. I'm not selling my soul. But if I interview people who know you, they'll tell me you sold your soul for much less. You've done much worse for way less. We turn on each other. We fight each other. We do all that for free. Women having sex with deadbeats and having babies for free. Why in the world wouldn't she have a baby by Nick Cannon and get set for life? Wow. She didn't love it. What? She probably don't love her baby. What are y'all saying? See, now we keep wanting to throw in different variables. But most people, men and women, want some type of security. And the security for most of us, unknowing, comes in the form of finances. Not stability. Most of us think security has to do with money, because if we got money, we can afford things. So we can't just keep randomly judging people based off our limited knowledge, and for a lot of us, our limited experiences. It's like the thing, everybody claims they can be a fighter, but when the fight starts, you see who step up and who don't. But all this talk y'all was doing before, now look at you. Now you're just a coward like everybody else. All right, I had a friend ask a question today. And this is for the fellas. Fellas, if you and your girl out and you get jumped by 3 guys, what do you expect your woman to do? Ladies, if you're out with your guy and 3 women jump you, what do you expect your guy to do? Did I say that right? One is the ladies are supposed to respond. The second one, the guys are supposed to respond. All right, now we got Theo back on the scene. You know, he got the gym perspiration going. He got the buff thing up under his shirt. He trying not to shame me because I'm an old man, but he over there doing his Incredible Hulk thing right now. So let me just hit him with this since he just walked in. So if you and your girl walking down the street and 3 dudes jump out and start fighting you, what do you expect her to do?
Nothing. Yeah. I mean,
Continue.
what do I expect her to do?
Yeah.
I expect her to run and take cover and call the police while I'm likely getting my ass whooped.
Okay, but I wasn't going with that nothing. She better do something.
No, now mine would do something. No, mine would do something, but I would hope that she would do nothing.
No, you already said you want her to run and get safe, because that's what I said. I want mine to get somewhere safe.
Right.
Call the cops, pull out that 9, let some rounds go. But I don't expect her to join in the fight. I don't expect her to try to stab nobody. You need to get some distance. Well, and let me rephrase that, because I did say something. I need her to first to see if I'm outmatched. I might be able to take these guys. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I think I got a little skill. But if I'm under stress, yeah, I expect her to get somewhere safe, get the phone, get the pistol, let it go. Because I believe if they hear 2 rounds, they'll stop. But if they don't, when she called 911, when they hit them 2 rounds, they coming a little quicker. So we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. So the flip side is, if you walking somewhere, same scenario, but your girl get jumped by 3 girls, what you doing?
Oh, I'm jumping in. She getting jumped by 3 girls?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm jumping in. That's
Why
like
we
a
don't
man.
get them
That's
same?
That's a man and a half. That's a man. If 3 girls is a man and a half.
She might be about that life though.
Listen, mine really is.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, my girl really is about that life. So I can't wait to
meet her, man. We got to make that happen soon. I can't wait to meet her. I think I'm gonna like her. We got to get on the show one day.
Yeah. She go on the show and show out.
You know, but and that's the thing, you know, and it's funny because, Theo, how you feel about hitting women?
Hitting women, that's a no-go. I
But
think it's a no-go.
But you're gonna hit them in 3 of them jumping your girl.
I mean, yeah, under the scenario of
So it ain't a no-go. It's conditional. It's a condition.
Right. It is conditional. It is conditional. Being the non-aggressor, that's a no-go. Like, you can't, just be. Oh no, being the aggressor rather, that's a no-no. But
right,
defending yourself is within reason. Yeah,
I got you. And that's why I and I had to start addressing it. It's like, a man should never hit a woman. All right, give me the situation. Give me the situation before I make that statement, because I can't make a blanket statement like that no more. Because I used to make that blanket statement until I had to hit one. I tell you, when that little Asian woman stabbed me, There was no not hitting her. There was no she good. I don't want to be stabbed again. So to make sure she didn't stab me again, I had to introduce her the Heckle and Jekyll. So there are rules to this. What's up, D? How you been? They used to have a show with my cute girlfriend who would never make me cake. Now they don't come on, or maybe they come on, they just block me since they would never make me cake. Have y'all noticed? I should have called this the snitching show. I'm telling everybody. I'm telling on everybody. Everybody. I don't care. I'm telling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This whole what is it? This whole puppet trial got me. I'm stitching everybody. I'm everybody. Where my cake at? Where my cake at? What's up? No, don't try to be friendly with me now. No, I'm well. No. Don't you hate when they do that, Phil? When they try that like everything good when you just told them listen. My stomach is grumbling because I'm hungry for this cake that I ain't never ever got. I'm a little dude. I ain't like Theo. I ain't trying to get no beach body for the summer. I'm gonna get I'm
trying to get like you for real.
I'm gonna get a cabin body for the mountain. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the mountains. I ain't taking my clothes off. I'm keeping clothes on. You know? So I'm just saying. So I ain't full up the speed on the RG thing. I was trying to read a couple of articles. So I'm gonna let you go on. I'm gonna let you go on and bring it to light, and then I'm gonna let you be the host. I'm gonna be the other guy for a minute.
Okay, so it's been kind of a I would say a slow news day story, but basically RG3, who was a quarterback, he was a college football legend, played for Baylor, got drafted to the Washington Redskins, had a great rookie year. Injuries pretty much, sidelined him, and eventually he was out of the league. He's made a second comeback as a sports commentator over the years, and actually he does a pretty good job. I like the energy that he brings to sets, and he has he's good entertainment value. RG3 is also married to a white woman. He's a habitual bunny hopper, and on the face of it, I got no critique for that. But what's happened recently is this Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark saga has gone into the second season, and Angel Reese was hit with a flagrant by Caitlin Clark a couple days ago. Angel Reese, responded in anger, which naturally anybody would, and so now the conversation just gets reignited about their whole rivalry. Of course, they're like the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson of the WNBA in terms of their rivalry in college, kind of translating into at the pro level, and people are drawn in because of that. And of course, there's always you can never divorce race from anything that involves America, and sports is a way to kind of bring that to bear. So RG3 made a comment about Angel Reese and said that he thinks that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. And while he's making this, making this commentary or offering this commentary, his wife is kind of cheering him on in the back, and his white wife, and he's kind of playing up those racial tropes that have been now assigned to Angel Reese. Ryan Clark, who is probably the lone, I would say the lone real black man that's in sports media when it comes to making a thoughtful and satiant political commentary or social commentary. He's kind of the one that people go that he's who you listen to in that world if you want to hear from somebody who pretends like they read books every now and then. So he offered a critique on his show of RG3 and basically called him out for kind of playing into those racial stereotypes around Angel Reese and kind of coming to the defense of Caitlin Clark, which I have been just, anyway. So coming to the defense of Caitlin Clark, and he mentioned that RG3 couldn't speak to Angel Reese's experience because he doesn't talk to a black woman when he comes home every day. And he has been involved with white women, at least he's married to. And so his context for understanding her experience is not there and lends itself to the kind of tone deafness that tends to texture a lot of his commentary. But I thought the point that he made that was even more like critical was that you can't was this obsession that RG3 has, and from working with him as a colleague, he would always make these jokes around like drinking milk and how he prefers milk, and he makes a point to underscore his wife's racial identity, and it's almost to kind of apologize. He's obviously he's attracted to white women in that way, but he also feels like he needs to apologize for his romantic choices, and so he makes it awkward. And so Ryan Clark is pulling not just from what we all know about RG3 is that he likes to play in the snow, but his personal experience, which is that he's one of those guys. He's one of those black guys who it's one thing to have a wife that happens to be white. It's a whole other thing to have a white wife, and all of the things that you a lot of times see in those types of couplings. Now, I will say this: I have a problem with the posture that we have as a community to police black men, and that's whether we're talking about the actual police or we're talking about policing our thoughts about things, policing our choices, policing anything that doesn't align with whatever this expectation is, this invisible, unspoken expectation of black men is. I have a problem with the attempt to police a black man's romantic choices. That being said, I think that Ryan Clark needed to call that out. And I think men like Ryan Clark are necessary to call those types of men out, because those types of men just so happen to be more commonplace in that arena. You're going to come across more either socially conservative black males and even some black women in there who have these very just weird views on race in that space. It's almost like they take a test, like it's in their interview process where they say, how willing are you to say things that cut down your own community? And if they say yes, then they get the job, because you see it. Stephen A. dibs and dabs in it. Kendrick Perkins, RG3, of course, Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, like all these guys, not Rachel Steele, her last name is Steele. All these figures, Sage Steele, there we go. They all have this thing where they're always saying things that are that finger whack the black community. Oh, Jason, I call him Jason Shitlock, but Jason Whitlock is probably like the grand wizard of these people, right?
Right, he's the worst.
Right, he's the absolute worst. So I think that Ryan's critique of RG3 is necessary because Ryan is a lone voice in that space. But I don't think that he was critiquing RG3 for his choice to marry a white woman. I think what he was doing was critiquing RG3 for playing into the racial stereotypes of Angel Reese and kind of exacerbating that whole energy that's around them. I call Caitlin Clark fans Oakley shades, because it's always the white dudes with the Oakley shades who a year prior to that they were not interested in WNBA, and in fact those would be the Oakley shades who would always laugh at any kind of storyline or any kind of post about the WNBA. They would laugh about it because the WNBA is majority black women. And then just a year later, as soon as they got a white savior, now they're Caitlin Clark fans. And I will say I feel bad for Caitlin Clark, because I don't think that she's allowing herself to be used by the Oakley shades, but I don't feel bad enough to protect Caitlin Clark. And I think Ryan Clark's issue with RG3 is the issue that I have with a lot of black men who are in that particular space. Now, zooming all the way out, I actually think that we harp too much on this interracial dating thing, because the statistics show that we choose each other at higher rates than any other racial group. If you just look at the data, Asians actually date out of their race more than any other group, and they choose whiteness over their own identity, their own ethnicity, more than any other group. But yet the black community, because we've all been affected or infected by colonialism and Eurocentrism, the stereotype of black men, the black male athlete goes out and gets the white girl, as his trophy. You know what I mean? We got the OJs who, definitely didn't make that case any stronger. This conversation around it, I think is very 1990s. I truly believe that. But I can save space for, although I've never dated a white woman, I'm not attracted to white women like that. I'm not saying that white women are not attractive in general. I'm insane.
You know what's wrong?
Right. I like the smell of black women. I have a really strong sense of smell. So like I'm accustomed to certain smells, and black women have a certain consistency with how they show up when they sweating and when all the things. And I'm just like, my nose will not allow me to venture outside of my race.
Let me go incognito. Go ahead. Incognito here.
And I'm not saying that to imply that white women, they have body odor. I'm just saying my nose don't let me venture out. I tried a biracial girl one time, and her mom was white, and we were in a close embrace, and I got her super duper close, and I smelled a little bit of that, just the smell,
you could tell she just took a shower and she smelled like a wet pet. I
didn't say that. I'm just saying there's some truth. There's some truth to that. There's something about the how our hair. I don't know. I don't get it, but I like all the things about black women too much.
So if this is our last show for a couple of months, just realize it's Theo's fault that we got blocked for 60 days. It's Theo's fault.
So, the other thing that I also don't like is that black men who date outside of their race, particularly who date white women, get extra hammered compared to black women who do it. I think the conversation around that is that black men who do it are like always downing black women.
Right.
And when black women go outside of our race, they're doing it, because they have been the long-suffering, black woman who has given all these lowly black men a chance, and so their white, prince has come to save the day, and it's just, and I just don't think I don't think that either of those, narratives are true. There's been a whole trend. You see things like, there's trends where, you talk about the glow up when a white boy gets with a black woman, and and just the natural effect that black women have when they are with white men, just they glow up. They come up. I've seen some problematic things from Black women in interracial relationships. In fact, the celebrity that comes to mind for me, which is the equivalent of the RG3 thing, was Gary Owens, the comedian.
Yeah.
And when he did that whole thing with the N-word, and he had his black wife in the background, and he couldn't say the N-word, but every time he would, leave the blank space, his wife would say it. And I remember being incensed with, I don't like him. I think he's funny, but I don't fuck with that dude no more, because he's one of those white boys. You know what I mean? And so just like RG3 is one of those black dudes, Gary Owens is one of those black boys. I mean, one of those white boys. But his wife is who I'm looking at for giving him the permission to even do that. So if we're gonna talk about it, I would like it to be more one-to-one. Obviously, black men, we choose more outside of our race than black women do. And there's a whole other, discussion we can have around that. But I don't think it is as big of a deal as we sometimes make it. And his response was very standard. I'm getting to the point where I don't like black celebrities at all, because black celebrities might as well be another race. His response was, instead of dealing with the points that were made about his critique of Angel Reese, he made it like, oh, you're talking about my family, and family is off limits. He wasn't talking about your wife, dude. He was talking about you, and he was talking about your workplace behavior and your seeming obsession with whiteness, to the extent that you will go out of your way to protect Caitlin Clark, who is 6'1", and a very well-built athlete, does not need your protection. She's a white woman, so if society is going to protect any woman, it's going to protect a white woman. She does not need the support of black men in any kind of way. And that is the critique that RG3 didn't digest. He kind of took the easy way out and said, wives and kids are out of it. But he doesn't have any problem critiquing somebody else's daughter, which is Angel Reese.
Right.
Like, she's somebody's daughter. And that wasn't a basketball critique. That was a personal critique. You don't know what's in that girl's heart toward Caitlin Clark. And if she does hate Caitlin Clark, or what? Caitlin Clark flagrantly fouled her. If there were no flagrant foul in play, this wouldn't even be a discussion. So we don't even deal with Caitlin Clark's mindset behind fouling her. We got to deal with Angel Reese's reaction to being fouled.
And what I found amazing, you said something. What I found amazing, as I'm paying attention, black men who tend to date white women are way more protective of their whiteness than black men who date black women. And for me, that's the issue. Because, I believe in protecting our women, but I ain't gonna never veer from the fact that black men need to do a better job of protecting our queens. And I mean that in plurality, not just your own personal one, but all of them in general. And I see that happens way too less. Like you brought up a name. I remember when Stephen A. Smith went out on what's the black girl who's normally on the show? She does the basketball thing with him. Just got married. He went off on her.
Maria Taylor?
No. She was
a white girl.
No, the black girl. She was on. No. She was on the show recently with him.
Okay. I got the place.
Yeah, but he went off on her. But when your less pigmented co-hosts do something, you don't shoot that same vitriol. But when the black, she went on this, and it was basketball season. She wasn't on the show. It was last year. She wasn't on the show the rest of the basketball season. She was still doing ESPN. She just went on Stephen A. Smith show, and it's like, I don't care for the brother anyway. But that's neither here nor there. But as I'm watching the dynamics of fair play, if we're talking sports, it's kind of like when you listen to Charles Barkley when he talked about why him and Michael Jordan stopped being friends. Michael Jordan didn't want to be critiqued by Barkley, critiquing everybody. That's his job. Maybe he should do a little bit better if he want to keep friendship, but that's his job. And he is probably one of the few that doesn't really care what he said about somebody. He gonna call a spade a spade. You know, his country bumpkin thing works, yada yada yada. But if you're gonna, you can't just be overly defensive of one race in my world, especially, you know, if that's I'm married to a white woman, so I got to be a little bit more protected. And the funny thing is, if we know this narrative, and I've done this, if you talk to most black women who have dated a white guy, and I want y'all to do this for yourself, most of these black women who date white guys have never been called the N-word. They get called the N-word by their own kind. So, you know, that's one of the things that we like to push. Oh, you know, he's still thinking, well, why, you know, what makes you think he like that? But most of them don't ever have that racial experience like that, like they get with us. But I guess it's okay for us to do it. But we don't ever insinuate that the white girl get called crack or hunky. We don't ever make that insinuation, but we always want to insinuate that white people using the N-word when we use crack or hunky way more.
Well, I mean, you know,
go ahead.
I have so the other reason I would never date white is because I know that the minute I ever smelled some shit on you, I mean, smelled some racism on you. Let me be clear. The minute I ever smelled some racism on you, you're gonna get it for this generation and like 12 generations back. And so I don't want to put myself in position to do harm to you because there are things that are just probably epigenetically passed down to me. Trauma passed down to me from relatives and ancestors who couldn't do nothing back. So I don't understand putting yourself in that. As a black man, I think that black men should have a healthy fear of white women to the extent that we don't put ourselves in position for a white woman to cry in front of us or in front of a lot of people while we're around. Because history just says white women tears, black men die. So I don't understand the risk that a lot of brothers are willing to take, and the power dynamic that is in play, in being with somebody that's white. And when I talk about interracial dating, I'm only talking about black and white. I think that minority dating, you know, that's in play because there's no power dynamic at play. But to your point about the white person in the relationship being called a hunky or a cracker, well, it might hurt them inside their bedroom, but they walk into a world that very much validates and affirms and privileges them. So,
no, I'm just saying, black guys like to use that as
and I don't want to deal with that.
No, I was just saying black guys like to use that when we see a black woman dating a white guy. We like to throw that in their face like we know it's a truth.
Yeah.
But we don't have there ain't a whole lot of basis behind it. It's just something that we do because again, I believe most black men in their fragile male egos always want to say things so they can have the upper hand because we can't admit that we're emotional because we keep wanting to argue how logical we are, but we make a lot of emotional statements. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it because I pulled up some clips. I'm gonna watch it and see because I actually do like Ryan Clark.
Yeah.
And RG3, and just because I was a football head and I knew a little bit about him because I've never heard and when Ryan Clark went off on him, he said things that was already said, that he was never a good teammate, that he was always a little selfish, that he was always about him. And it was like, he's saying what's been said forever. And I saw one of the things like, I defended you. I tried to keep, when ESPN wanted to fire you the first time, I was telling them, let you come on, let you be you. But now this is what you do. And like I said, I haven't heard it, so I'm gonna watch it that way I can, come back with an informed decision. But even with this, and it pains me to it truly does pain me, and it pains me and it doesn't, because I hate the version of black on black crime, but if I'm being totally honest, I also love it because for me, when I see black people doing damage to black people, we should be the first to call it out. Unfortunately, hypocritically, when I see white people damaging other people, I really don't care if they damage their own. I care more when I see us damaging us. Yeah, I don't like to see white people damaging us. But if I'm being honest, most of them ain't in our true circles. If Theo says something, he's in a true circle with black people. He can do way more damage than Boo Boo the Fool from Alfreda. Because he's just passing through. He don't live with us, he ain't hang with us, none of that. So yeah, there are times, and we start off the show talking about you got to call out people in your own circle who are doing damage to your community. Somebody who's talking from over there, they ain't really doing no damage. They just expressing their little dumbass opinion. But what are they doing? And you know, it sucks because we got to learn to get along. Well, we got to get rid of that mentality.
See, I'm of the belief that black people don't have to learn to get along. I don't.
They should.
I don't because humans are like part of the human experience is to be able to disagree with other humans. And so, like, because I saw a clip of the Acho guy, the Nigerian guy. I don't like him either. Cut from this argument saying, you know, you got me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. He made this argument that we can't. RG3 was going after a black woman, and then Ryan Clark went after a black man. So, you know, who really wins in all of this? But this is the same guy that's always trumpeting like whiteness and elevating it above blackness. I think that's a cop out. I think that black people. I don't have to be color conscious in my community. I don't have to look at you as a black man if we're already in the community. In fact, if I look at you as a black man, chances are I'm looking at you through the gaze of whiteness. I can deal with certain kinds of black folk in my community. Because originally, you know, we were broken up into tribes. There was no concept of race because everybody was black. And so you really were separated along cultural lines and along like tribal customs and all those things. And so I don't think the goal for black folks should be to quote unquote get along. But I do think that there should be a consciousness around that, and there is one. I think there is a consciousness among us that kind of closes ranks when we are attacked from the outside. You know, but I think we handle our business on it. Like we handle our I got a buddy in my I love him too. I love him. But you know, he has some very strong views on women. And he ain't been through half of the shit I've been through with women. Like not half of the shit. I mean, not even a third, not even just he hasn't. And so he'll like send me red pill stuff sometimes, and he'll kind of expect me to engage. And sometimes I will engage, but he kind of wants me to have a strong reaction because he knows some of the stuff that I've been through. I'm not gonna ever put my issues in my interactions with women who are also black above structural racism. Like I'm never gonna take the side of whiteness over the issues that black folks have inside of our own community. And I think a lot of times some of us take the easy way out, which is like heavily critique your own community, but don't critique the structure. Like don't critique the conditions that create some of the behaviors in our community, but be heavy on that behavior. And for me, I'm like, you know, I think that part of decolonizing our minds is, hey, I can find my own tribe in my own community. Like, you know, I'm Nation of Islam adjacent. Like I'm not a follower, I'm not a believer, you know, none of those things. But when I see them at the traffic stop, I will buy a final call and I will buy some of the juice and the fruit. Right. So I'm NOI adjacent. I'm not in their tribe. You know what I mean? I'm not in their tribe like that, and it's okay. And I think black folks, because of the climate and the condition that we've always been in, we hold unity higher than it can even be humanly possible to achieve. Like there's never been an idea of Black unity. Like there's a reality of Black unity. Even during the civil rights, the modern civil rights movement, which is King's era, there was never unity during that time. There was always dissension, and that I think the ability to dissent in either the private or the public sphere and not hold ourselves to a standard that white people hold us, like we got to be super Negroes, and we don't got to really be that. Like we don't really got to be magical like that. We can actually just be average, everyday people, and that be okay. Which means that we don't have to be like perfect. Like we don't have to be the Obamas. We don't have to be the Cosbys. We can be like the Watley household or the Darren, what's your last name, man? I'm tripping. But you know what I mean,
right? But why do you think we even have that mentality?
I think we because at one point that was necessary for our literal survival. Like I think it was necessary for baby boomers on back, your generation on up. We need that less and less and less. Like Gen X on up, Gen X, Millennial, Gen Z, Alpha, all the generations. We don't have to be like, just always buttoned up and uptight and, don't go and embarrass me in front of white folks. Man, fuck them white folks, man. Like, I don't think about myself in the context of like how I'm going to be seen by really anybody, but especially white folk, because I know their history. And so, and I wish that Black people allowed ourselves the luxury of judging white people. Like, because when you judge white people based on what they have historically done, you will never be more harsh on your own folk than you are on white folks. Because we don't have a history of feeding their babies to alligators. We don't have a history of lynching them. We don't have a history of denying them loans, and we don't have a history of like killing them and then calling them cracker. Like, we don't have a history of that. That's their shit. Like they went to the continent of Africa and renamed all those Rhodesia, after the Rhodes Scholar guy, went in there and butchered all those black babies and maimed all those black folks. That's their stuff. So I don't have to comport myself as like this magical, morally impregnable Negro in order to make the race look good. I can show up how I am showing up. Now, there are some things and some behaviors that I think we value as a community more than white folk, and we should foster those behaviors, and we should tease out a lot of the bad behavior, right? And we should do that in a real conscientious way, but not to look good for white folk, not to be like, I don't believe in telling the, yeah, young man, pull your pants up, because when you pull your pants up, your bank account still says 2 cents. Like it doesn't change a whole lot for you materially for me to tell you to pull your pants up. Now I can say, pull your pants up so I can employ you. And then that would be a like the combination, right? Like that's the, he probably is dealing with some self-esteem things and all those things, right? And so I'm going to make that connection, say, hey, this is the benefit of pulling your pants up. But I'm not going to tell you to pull your pants up because I don't want to see your drawers. I'm just not going to look at your drawers. And I think that we have to find a way, and it will take a continue, like, just an evolving conversation to, like, stay true to our core values, but tease out Eurocentrism at the same time. Like there are some ways that Black people show up, and we were going to show up that way whether we were ever in slavery or not. Because culturally, when you actually go back, not go back literally, but culturally, we still hung on to a lot of those customs. So there are some things that we were going to be that way regardless. And we should hang on to that. But it should not be to look good for white folks or to not argue in front of white men. I don't give a damn about none of that. I don't care. I don't care how white folks look at me or look at other black folk disagreeing. And so I do think that there's freedom that black people do not experience, which makes it hard to have conversations. Like I could talk to Candace Owens and I could entertain her some of her critique of black folk if I knew that she was doing it because this is what needs to be done in our community, not to do it while you laud white males, like while you elevate, and you're also one of those people that's married to a white man, you know. So like there's this through line of like prominent black figures who are in interracial relationships with white people. They tend to have a certain like thought process around race, and they tend to get the loudest microphones, and we have to combat that while we at the same time deal with our own stuff. How do we do that? I guess more offline conversation, but until then, until we get to the solution, we need more Ryan Clarks.
But that's what we got to do. And you know, we talk about our time. We have to start engaging more in uncomfortable conversations to the point they're not uncomfortable, that we know that they're necessary. But too many times we'd rather take the easier, politically correct way out as opposed to addressing the issue. Well, it's a one-off. Oh, it's this, and we'll make excuses for it. Because there are times when I've done things and I was wrong, and I was glad for the people who checked me. Don't give me a pass because I've done great things in the past. Check me on what we're doing now. And right. You know how you should check me if you've been paying attention. It might just be, as we talked about earlier, sometimes, me and you just talked about it, not hitting women. We start to believe in that until somebody throw a scenario in there where you got to hit them. It's like, well, shit. So if you know, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes some things are situational. Everything is not so concrete that you just can't do this or you can't do that. You got to know. And we've all made mistakes. Some were mistakes of ignorance. Some were mistakes of arrogance. Some were just mistakes because we just didn't give a fuck. Right. And you know, as my dad always said, sometimes you want to do what make you feel better, not what's right. And we know the difference. And sometimes it's a blurry line. So we might, hey, you know you shouldn't have done that, right? Yeah, I got caught up in the moment. Okay, so if you can acknowledge that, then there's no need to keep harping on it. But if we don't ever talk about it, you don't ever have to think about it again. Because once you get caught, you stop making quick, fast decisions. Like, you know, last time I did that, I didn't like the aftermath. So let me just, what they say, count the 5, count the 10 before I answer. I have counted 321 before I answered the question, because every time I got to 10, the answer that was coming out was worse than the answer that I started with. So it took me 321. And you know, my thing is, and it's crazy, my thing is, what would my mom not be ashamed of me saying? And I just couldn't come up with shit that if she heard me say it, she wouldn't give me that look. So I was just like,
I love that.
and it's crazy. Only thing I come up with out 321 seconds was Jesus will. That's all I could I couldn't come up with nothing else that I could let out my mouth. Jesus will. And he's like, what? Jesus will. I don't know what it means, but it's the only thing I can say that my mom won't be mad at. So I'm finna leave, because everything else I've been thinking about, you know, it's gonna lead to some problems.
Right.
And you know, but and that's one of the things. But like I said, we got people who do it, and of course, white America loves them, so they keep employing them.
Yeah.
And you know, we kind of got to put up with it. And it would be great, as we talked about earlier, we got to stop placating just cause. You know, we blame everything, and I ain't got nothing against people who monetize themselves. Everybody has a cost. Everybody has a cost. My man Theo done told y'all how he felt. He has told y'all, and I believe him with his heart of hearts. But what we talked about earlier, if somebody said, Theo, if you can stay with this white woman for 3 years, we'll give you $10 million.
Where do I sign up?
and you know, and we can laugh and joke about it, but this has been one of my biggest issues with us.
Right.
We will talk about the money, but we don't understand the value of money. Money makes your life easy. I don't give a shit how you find, you know, damn your pride, damn your standards, damn all that. People with pride, with high moral standards have died broke and homeless. Damn all that. And I hear you. But when the chance comes that all you gotta do is change how you feel, well, I tell on the show, because of my job with security, it's certain things I will not talk about. I won't even get close to them because I'm not finna mess up my money. Right. There's certain things I know about famous people. You think I'm finna sit here and keep it that real? I keep 100 all the time. I'm not even finna tell that lie. I'm not.
Nope, so you keep it 75.
I'm gonna keep my standard of living at 100. There's nothing that you gonna do to make me change that. That's like, you know, all y'all say, "Oh man, that was wrong. That won't pay my rent. It won't pay my mortgage." All y'all feel sorry for me. No sir, no sir. And you don't want. I'm not finna. I know you got an opinion. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. And you know, and I hate when we keep trying to act like that it ain't something, because again, if I'm Stephen A. Smith and they paying me $40 million a year to talk about black people, shit, what a list that? Tell me who you want me to talk about.
Now that there's no money you can pay me to that.
If I'm a sportscaster, I don't, because I ain't, you know, but the thing is like, you know, where is it? Because we don't know what everybody's standard is. You know, some things, you know, if somebody say, "Hey man, we'll give you $10 million to French kiss a dude on a movie," I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Right.
It's $10 million. All you gotta do is You know, I'm struggling with touching lips, but if he open his mouth, you might as well call the cops. You might as well call the cops. It's not happening. It's $10 million for all you gotta do is kiss him for 4 seconds.
Nah,
I gotta live with me. Yeah. You know, and I tell everybody, all the time, and I joke about it. So I got grandkids. You know, I don't want them growing up saying, "Hey, you know, your dad, you know, Papa kissed a dude in the mouth."
Right.
But there are some things that I would do that people are like, "Man, that's crazy," but it don't violate a core standard. It may violate a tenet. I don't know what the right word is, but something that affects not kissing no dude. You know, it's like you got to kiss a dude, or you're gonna have to lose a family member. I'm like, which family member? Which family member? Which family member? So it's just certain stuff. Just yeah. But you know, but that's where, you know, we have to be semi-realistic about what's in it for them. See, when people do it for free, I got a big issue. When people doing it, clout chasing, I got a big issue. You know, it's like when we do this show. Now I had guys that come in my inbox and they be like, "Oh man, you always simping for the women." What woman did I simp for, first of all? "Oh, you just trying to get in your inbox." And I have to repeat a phrase that Trina always said. If you're gonna get your dick sucked, who would you rather suck it? One of these dudes that agree with you, or one of these women who like you? Does it get any plainer than that? Does it get any? Theo, who do we seek favor from?
Yeah, women.
So I don't understand when guys are, "Oh, you doing this for the women." Who else would I be doing it for?
Right. Yeah,
I don't care about you. I don't want to.
Dick don't have no value on the market.
Right. Like, man, I wish I had somebody to play basketball with. I'm picking Angel Reese. Fuck it.
Right.
I don't need to play basketball with Theo. I don't care. I don't care. Right. If Theo say he want to play, Angel say she want to play, Theo, you lost out. You lost out. Now winning now. If Caitlin Clark says she want to play in Theo, I'm playing with Theo. Yeah.
It's you know, I'll be glad when the jig is just all the way up, and like, I don't know when that's gonna be. You know, I like that media is moving in a direction where, you know, it's more customized and more, you know, boutique oriented, and you can have a platform. You don't have to, you know, tap dance and say things that you don't really believe. And I think there are a couple of people. I think Stephen A. Smith, I don't think he believes everything he says. I don't think Charles Barkley believes everything he says. I believe Shaquille O'Neal believes everything he says. I believe a lot of them. Sage Steele. I believe there's some people who's like, no, you really believe this dumb shit. And
I think Charles believes most. I don't think Charles is that smart. I don't think Charles is that smart.
I think he's cunningly country. I don't think that he's as dumb as he leads on.
I don't think he's dumb. I just think, I think he is. I think he's more himself than people that we give him more credit because we think he's cunning. I think it is who he is. And,
so what would you say about Shannon Sharp? Would you say, because Shannon Sharp got the same shtick?
I think Shannon Sharp is a straight phony.
You think so?
A straight phony.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. As I compare interviews and what he said, and this one I saw, and it's funny because I was going through something, and he clowned a dude for dating younger women, and the woman was 30, and he clowned a dude for dating a 30-year-old, and I'm like, how you clown a dude? You clowning a dude who dating but here you are. You're
yeah, she got a 1 in front of her. Okay, yeah, in that regard, for sure. Yeah.
So, and then like I said, and then when I look at a couple of other things, and I start watching him, and his mode of dress already made me question what was going on with him. Like there were little yellow flags that used to go up, and when when it really turned red, it turned red with Skip Bayless.
Oh, well, he didn't. He didn't like respond or anything.
You didn't come to work. You asked for a commercial break. Well, if you that dude, why not just get up and walk off on him? Or why not just get over and walk over to him? But you sat there humbly. You sat there humbly.
Well, I think Shannon Sharp is also like when you gave the scenario, would you do this for X amount of dollars? I do think he's very much driven by that.
Oh yeah.
But I think Shannon Sharp is. I think that I don't like his axioms that he likes to repeat, about his grandmother and that whole thing. Like that's familiar to me. That kind of reminds me of my granddaddy. That's the part of him that I think is very much authentic.
That's Sterling. He's speaking from Sterling.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be. It could be.
Look, he got kids. He got daughters. Right. Very rarely do you hear him say anything about them.
He don't talk about his kids a lot. You're right.
So, and I'm gonna say, how do you have daughters and mistreat women?
See, one of them works for him, though. You believe that white girl?
Say again.
I said one of them works for him. One of his daughters actually works for him. The one that look like him. Yeah. I don't think you think he did that to those white girls. You think he was like out here just assaulting them white girls like that?
When you look at his pattern, and even before this came up, he's lost other jobs for these accusations. So they keep following him. Okay. They keep following him. Like I said, it's hard for me to understand how, if you got daughters, you're abusive to women. It's hard for me to understand how, as a black man who was raised by a single mother, it's hard for me to understand guys who degrade single mothers. But that's just my concept, because I don't hate my mothers, so I can't hate single women. And there was a point that I gravitated to them because I saw how hard my mom worked to try to make my life easier. So I was naturally drawn to them, because if I thought you were a good woman who had a child, I wanted to help you out because I knew what my mother went through. And that resonated with me, because she struggled, and I think she did a great job. So I always have issues with guys who go after them and try to degrade them or devalue them. Yeah, because I don't hate my mother.
Yeah, I think man, there's a lot of just wounded people in our community, and you like even to that point you just made, like you didn't start seeing the outright assault on single black mothers until maybe 5 years ago. Like that red pill space it's got to be a PSYOP project. Like it's a dangerous place to be, because there's no way out of that thought. Like there's you only go deeper into those woods. Like nobody, the resolve is, okay, we got to figure this thing out at some point. And when you just become, I've seen some of my, buddies a couple of them, kind of you can tell that they're deeper and deeper into the red pill space, because in the red pill space has these other little like subcultures. So it's like they start becoming flat earthers, like they start hating Jewish people. Like there's all these different like other things that come from being in this red pill space. And then, but instead of dealing with, okay, you've been wounded, and it might have started when you was a kid. You might have been wounded by your mama,
right?
And you might have some legitimate mama hurt that you've never resolved. You're not going to resolve it in a space that was created for white men to talk about everything that was unfair in the society that they created. That's not where you find that. But at the same time, where do you find it? Like just in culture. And so I understand just like I understand young men who join gangs. I get it. You know what I mean? Like I get that. I get it. But at a certain point, you got to resolve. Like it comes from a sense of like not belonging. Okay, and you found your tribe, right? But it can't resolve in grave or prison. It's got to resolve. You know, so like I think that red pill space and just I think when we stop inviting our mothers and our grandmothers and our fathers and our grandfathers to the conversation around our relationships, and we said we got it, and we've been saying it for like 10 to 15 years, and anybody that's been in a marriage for 50 years, we just assume, oh, they're not happy, and grandmama had a black eye, and grandmama and granddaddy had 6 side babies. Like, no, that wasn't most people's stories. But when we started like villainizing what was actually working for us, and we just said we got it, we got the conversation, and we know it all because like we've gone to school, we got our degrees. You know, it's resulted in a lot of loneliness, like a loneliness epidemic across gender. It's resulted in the further decay of marriage. Like we're not getting married at the rate that our parents and our grandparents were, and when you and there's a real financial like economic cost to that, to not pairing up, not coupling, not resolving the stuff. And so when I hear guys that go in, I am justified. Nobody has really known like the fine details of some of my experiences. If I don't hate women, I just don't understand, guys.
That's what we're gonna do next week. Well, one week when I get you to show up at 6:30, that's what we're gonna do a show on.
And now I'm talking to our guys. Racism. What?
We're gonna do a show on that because you started breaking up. And it's 7:59, so give us some parting words. But we're gonna do a show on that in a couple of weeks when you get here at 6:30, because I'm gonna need you for more than an hour. Did I lose you? Theo, you there? Oh, it looked like he froze. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 8 o'clock. So this is Random Thoughts with DVP and my man Theo. We're gonna talk some more about this single motherhood and how blacks we got to start doing better about getting along and building our own community.
I got to give him some gas.
Yeah, we're gonna do better. We're gonna have these uncomfortable conversations to the point they become the norm, and we can raise up. All right. So until next week, y'all know what it is, right? Peace, popcorn, and chicken grease, and we out.